John W. Henry, Mike Gordon and Tom Werner were conspicuous by their absence at the unveiling of the Kenny Dalglish Stand on Friday afternoon. Reds CEO Peter Moore, who took to the podium, explained that they had a prior engagement. The Fenway Sports Group trio won't be present either for Saturday's Premier League showdown with Manchester United at Anfield. It will be used as a stick to beat the owners with, held up by their critics as proof that they simply don't care. It was 7 years ago this weekend that Henry and Werner completed their £300 million takeover of Liverpool. They were sat at Goodison in October 2010 to watch Liverpool slump to an embarrassing derby defeat. The club is in a mess, both on and off the field. The damaging reign of Tom Hicks and George Gillett had taken its toll. Roy Hodgson was manager and only goal difference kept the Reds off the foot of the Premier League table. 7 years on, Liverpool Football Club is a very different place. Where there was chaos, now there's stability. Financially, it's been transformed with annual revenues going through the £300 million mark for the first time. With the impressive new main stand, FSG delivered the perfect solution to one of the biggest issues they inherited. A feasibility study into how best to redevelop the Anfield Road end and boost capacity to 60,000 is ongoing. As soon as planning permission is granted, FSG will push on with an ambitious £50 million project to build a state-of-the-art first-team training facility at the Kirkby Academy. Rather than the blundering Hodgson, Liverpool now boast a world-class manager in Jurgen Klopp. Rather than the likes of Paul Konchesky, Joe Cole and Milan Jovanovic on the team sheet, there's Mo Salah, Felipe Coutinho and Roberto Firmino. Yet the reality is that FSG have yet to deliver on what Henry described as their primary focus back in 2010, returning the club to greatness. And that's the reason why social media is awash with scathing verdicts on their tenure. 7 years have yielded just one trophy, the League Cup in 2012. There have been plenty of near misses along the way with defeats in the finals of the FA Cup, the League Cup and the Europa League, as well as falling agonizingly short in the 2013-14 Premier League title race. Soccer, Carling Cup, final, Cardiff City v Liverpool, Wembley Stadium. Liverpool owner John W. Henry, left, and chairman Tom Werner, right, celebrate with the Carling Cup trophy. Only twice since FSG arrived have the Reds finished higher than 6th. Is that acceptable for a club of Liverpool's stature? Of course not. The most frequent complaint is that FSG simply haven't committed sufficient funds in the pursuit of glory. That they have been happy to sit and watch their asset increase in value. Since October 2010, Liverpool have splashed out around £569 million on transfers and recouped around £405 million. A net spend of £164 million works out at just £23 million per year. But net spend is too simplistic a measurement. For example, Joel Matip and James Milner were both free transfers but banked hefty signing on fees and big wages. Would it have been a sign of greater ambition if Liverpool had paid £50 million rather than £30 million for Sadio Mane, or sold off the likes of Christian Benteke, Jordan Ibe and Kevin Stewart cheaper? The club's wage bill has continued to climb sharply, with salaries for players and staff rocketing by 25% for the 12 months to the end of May 2016. Having passed the £200 million mark, nearly 70p in every £1 the Reds generate goes on wages. Liverpool have the 5th highest annual turnover in the Premier League and the 3rd highest wage bill. "I don't have chic in front of my name," said Henry back in 2010, warning that the Reds would have to live within their means. The fact is that without the spending power of United or Man City, Liverpool need to splash their cash more wisely. Recruitment has certainly improved in recent years. There have been more hits and fewer duds, but both last summer and this summer they didn't strengthen the squad sufficiently. The record-breaking spending spree failed to materialize. Liverpool made a mess of signing Virgil van Dijk, but Klopp insists it was his call not to pursue a plan B at centre-back. He wanted to wait 12 months for Naby Keita rather than sign an alternative centre midfielder. Frustration abounds among supporters because they fear that weaknesses that weren't addressed will end up costing the Reds this season. After recent setbacks, FSG have found themselves in the firing line. Some fear Liverpool will never make the leap from contenders to champions until they have new owners with greater financial clout. Yet the relationship between Klopp and FSG remains as strong as ever. They embarked on a long-term project together 2 years ago and still believe it will yield the glory Kloppites crave. Other clubs have different ways to do it. We have our way, Klopp said. I know people don't want to wait. We cannot change this. Klopp talks to FSG after beating Middlesbrough. Despite the recent speculation generated by Amanda Staveley's appearance at St James Park, where she was a guest of Rafa Benitez, FSG remain adamant that they haven't slapped a £1 billion price tag on the club and Liverpool is simply not for sale. Yes, they weren't at Anfield on Friday, but Dalglish had no issue with that. It was their idea to honor him with the renaming of the centenary stand in the club's 125th anniversary year, and they put out a statement hailing his unique contribution. The trio are likely to attend the home game against Huddersfield Town at the end of this month. There's undoubtedly a 7-year itch when it comes to FSG and many Liverpool fans. Klopp holds the key to turning that growing sense of unease into happiness.